guys, it's Andrea Burns, and this is the Q&A video I promised you. So I've been collecting your questions, and I've written them all down. I will read them, I will answer your questions, and we'll see how many we can get through. Okay? What made you want to live in a tiny house? That's an excellent question, and I get that a lot, because it's unusual. Most folks aren't looking to live in a tiny house. They're looking for something with more space, bigger kitchen. And yes, I love big kitchens. And I'm not knocking big houses. I think they're beautiful. But there's a lot of reasons to want a house. None of those really apply to me. And I've always kind of thought that traveling and living nomadically was neat. I grew up moving a lot. We moved every 6 months, maybe 4 years, and I'm used to that. It seems normal to me, so living in a space that allows me to continue moving, it's not weird. It's not weird for me anyway. And I figure, since it really does take all kinds of people to make things work, to solve problems, to alleviate hardships, that there's plenty of space and there's plenty of room for people who want to live in a big house, who want to live in a neighborhood, and people who want to move and be nomadic and help people in different parts of the country where she can. So I decided that I would take on the role I was groomed for and go ahead and do what I'm good at. Why not just get a camper? That's an awesome question. Because it does really sound like I'm just living in a camper. But there are some fundamental differences in the design and construction of campers and tiny houses. Some of the biggest differences, they really come down to what they were designed and intended for. So a camper is designed and intended for short-term living situations. It's a RV, it's a recreational vehicle. It's not intended to be lived in full-time. It's designed to fit its intention. It's lighter weight materials so that you don't have to buy a brand new heavy-duty truck to pull it around with, right? It's smaller, they tend to be shorter, not quite so bulky, which also means there's not a lot of headspace, not a lot of light, not a lot of airflow. They're typically made out of aluminums and particle board and things like that, which are fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but they don't hold up to a lot of travel. They don't hold up to a lot of living in. Insulation tends to be an issue, as well as condensation and mold, and just simply the fact that particle board breaks down over time. So it doesn't last terribly long if you're living in it full time. It's very good at what it does. It's designed to be a recreational vehicle. They're great at that. They're very good at that. A tiny house is intended to be lived in full time. So a lot more attention and emphasis is being given to the materials used to build it with, the insulation, the airflow, accounting for moisture accumulation. And let's not forget comfort. If you're living in it full time, this needs to be a fairly comfortable space. They're intended for different types of living. Living in an RV for 10 years versus living in a tiny house for 10 years, at the end of that 10 years, these vehicles are going to be in very different shape. It's really a matter of what they're designed for.